Yo, 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 yo. What's good, Stiz Grimey?
Hey, what's good? What up? P. Rice, what is the deal, homie? Thank you for having me.
Hey, yo, no problem, man. My pleasure. Thank you for calling into the show, man.
You already know, man. You already know. Chelsea, we in the building. What's up?
Hell yeah, man. Represent to the fullest, man. You know, I was going to say, tell everyone where you're coming from.
Yeah, man. Chelsea, Mass. City right over the Tobin Bridge, man. It's the armpit of Massachusetts. It's beautiful this time of year. Please come and check it out, man.
I believe it, man. You know, over in the Boston area, it's gorgeous, man, especially during the spring and summertime.
Yeah, man, you know what I mean? We had a rough winter, but, you know, I see the light at the end of the tunnel, man. That nice weather's coming. Dunkin' Donuts got cookie dough iced coffee now. It's back, so we getting close, man. I feel it.
Absolutely, man. Hey, yo, man. How did you develop your name, Stiz Grimey, man?
Oh, shoot. So my real name is Stan. That's like my government name is Stan. And so I'm sure you remember, like, back in the day, everybody used to put the IZ on everything. You know what I mean? So, like, if you were Mike, you'd be Ms., you know, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Just kind of came from that. And then, yo, I don't even know, like, I think one of my homies just, like, started calling me Stiz Grimey, and it just kind of stuck. And, you know, that was, like, at least 10 years ago, you know? And, like I said, it stuck, and I just rolled with it. And, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that, man. I feel that. So, about 10 years ago, would you say, is that when you started getting involved with the hip-hop music?
I mean, no. I've been involved with hip hop, you know, for a very, very long time. I think like one of the first records I heard was like a Tupac record off the Above the Rim soundtrack. So that was like a long time ago. But when I was like, you know, 17, 18, around that time is when I got into the studio and I actually started trying to make songs and, you know, like developing my own kind of style and writing my own stuff. And it kind of snowballed from there, you know. But I've always been into hip-hop, you know what I mean? From the second I heard it, I was instantly hooked. And, you know, it just went from there.
Yeah, no, I feel that, man. You know, that's a real hip-hop head right there, man. And so, man, coming straight out of Chelsea, MASS, man, how would you say was the local hip-hop scene around the area while you were getting into hip-hop, starting to write the rhymes, man, trying to get into the game?
Yeah, man, absolutely. I mean, as far as like Chelsea goes, you know, there really isn't too many artists coming out of here. You know, there's a couple. Shout out my homie Chelsea Mav. Shout out my homie Cam G's. But when I first started coming up, and you know, I'm starting to put out songs at this point. You know, I started going to shows around the city. You know, in Cambridge and Boston, things like that. You know, I started hitting spots like the Middle East and
yeah.
Back then there was like a place called Great Scott and you know, Paradise, and you know, I started getting into the local hip hop scene and figuring out who, you know, the local artists were, you know what I mean? And at the time 88.9 was popping real heavy, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
like everybody tuned into 88.9 and you know, they would play like all local hip hop, you know. So you know, I just kind of like immersed myself in the scene and just figured out who was doing what and who was in charge of this, and you know what I mean, just got it popping like that.
Hell yeah, man. And during that time, who would you say were some of your influences and inspirations while you're developing your whole style as well?
Well, yeah, so I mean, like, you know, when I was coming up and then I first, you know, got introduced to 88.9, you know, I started finding out about cats like Terminology, Slain, Reks, Right Hook, you know what I mean, Jake the Snake.
Straight up.
And, you know, definitely, you know, someone like Term, Slain, Reks, you know, I've really been, you know, influenced by everybody that's come through the city and put it down, you know, really, like, I tried to take a small piece of everybody that I look up to and you know what I mean, put it into my own style with my own spin on it, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. I know exactly where you're coming from, man. So would you say how it's looking now that you're going to be one of the first MCs, rappers to push Chelsea onto the map with the whole hip-hop scene?
I mean, it's good, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm really proud of where I come from, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I really feel like Chelsea raised me, you know what I mean? Like, Chelsea is such a huge part of who I am, you know what I mean? So, you know, at the end of the day, like, I'm happy to be trying to put my city on the map, you know what I mean?
100.
Yeah, you know, and if that, you know, if at some point in time people think of Chelsea / Boston and they think of Stiz Grimey and some dope hip hop music, you know what I mean? And that's a beautiful thing, man. You know?
Absolutely, man. 100 right there. And now, when you've gone into the studio, man, you're about to put it down. You just recently released Spare Change. Who are some of the producers that you mess with for that album?
So when I got back in the studio and I wanted to put out my debut project, this was like you know, about a year ago. Spare Change dropped a year ago on Valentine's Day, so not even too long ago was the year mark. But I've been really close with my homie Archetype. I don't know if you're familiar with Archetype, but he's a very, very dope producer out of Cambridge.
Hell yeah.
One of the biggest studios in Cambridge called the Bridge Sound and Stage. And so I hooked up with him and, you know, one of his homies, a dude named Lightfoot, I hooked up with him. And, you know, just like a couple close friends that I had known that, you know, I went to high school with, and they were just kind of making beats on the side. You know what I mean? And, you know, I hijacked a couple industry instrumentals for the mixtape as well.
Yeah, I feel that, man. And, you know, it came out dope, man. You definitely present a lot of different variety on Spare Change because, man, you have, like, in my opinion, like, kind of like an Eminem sounded track with, like, Sick and Tired featuring Alias. And then you drop some that, like, you can cruise to, you know, some for the ladies, you know, like the track Converse Girl, which is dope, though, man. But could you tell me, like, what were you trying to present for this mixtape? Like, a little bit of everything, like, styles?
Yeah, word, man. Yo, I really appreciate that you pick up on all that stuff. And you know, just to keep it 100, man. I mean, yo, at the end of the day, like, I'm just doing me. You know what I mean? Like, and it's mad funny because sometimes I'll meet producers and they'll be like, "Well, what kind of beats do you like?" And I hate that question so much because I'm always just like, "Yo, if the beat knocks, then I want to mess with it." Like, it's hard for me to pinpoint like exactly what type of beats I like. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Project, I just kind of, if I got a beat and I was really messing with the beat, I went in on it, and I made what I heard in my head, and that's what Spare Change was, really. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really like make songs like specifically for something. I mean, obviously, like, I didn't want to have too many records for the ladies or too many records that are serious. You know what I mean? I can't balance. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, like, I just did me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man, and you know, you feel that when you're listening to the whole mixtape, man, and you know, you even push it a little bit because with your track Lizzie Borden, you know, which attempts a true story, telling it with like a little bit of a hardcore vibe, but you just telling straight up the story, you know, and you made the track based off of Lizzie Borden from Fall River, and man, you know, accused of, you know, hacking her mother and father off, but yo, man, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, man, well, so I mean, Lizzie Borden, you know, like you said, for anybody that don't know, she was a woman in like 1897. She was accused of hacking her mom and dad. And, you know, I kind of am, I'm really into the horror movies. Like, I love horror movies. I've always loved them growing up. So I'm into that stuff anyway. And what happened was, you know, I came across that beat. And I came up with that concept, and it was like a couple months before October when I got into the studio and laid it down. And my homies were like, "Yo, man, if you don't wait to put this out, like, when Halloween comes and, like, try to capitalize on that whole holiday, you know, you'd be crazy."
Yeah.
The more we listened to it, I was like, yo, you know what, you really might be right. And then we really got into it, and, you know, we called the Lizzie Borden house, and we made an appointment to go there and, like, tour the house, and like, I laid in the spot where they were found murdered, stuff, man, and it was real crazy, and I had a great time, you know. And, you know, at the end of the day, like, I wanted to make a dope record, but I also wanted to tell a story and be as factual as I could, you know, in telling that story, you know what I mean? And I think I did a pretty good job with it, you know what I mean? Lizzie Borden, for sure. I had a blast making that record and the video. Video's on YouTube. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen it.
100, man. Y'all can check it out. Stiz Grimey, Lizzie Borden, the official music video is up on YouTube. And you know, man, that's a dope track that you can do that, you know, really do some true storytelling, lay it down on the beat and with all the rhymes. And, you know, it's dope. So now since you dropped Spare Change, man, and, you know, it's got a good reception within the area, man. People are digging it. You collaborated with names such as Reks on your track Lay Down. and you know, you have a lot going for you. You had a dope video, No Turning Back, with Rose Glen Entertainment, which you can also catch on YouTube. What do you have in plan for some upcoming projects?
So right now, actually, I haven't told anybody this yet, so you guys are about to get the exclusive. I'm working on a couple things right now, but the very next thing that's about to come out, I actually just hooked up with this producer from Maryland who goes by J1K.
All right.